Second grade. All right, everybody take a seat. Now this is Bobby. He played our Indian. I know you can't tell. Yeah, Bobby's bad with both. Bobby's like one of the only people in the show. Well, one of the only people in the show that did the show downtown, which ran for 42 years. This is John. This is Sarah. This is our girl. This Tom plays our old man. This is Doug, and this is Nick, plays our mute. What did you say?
What inspired you to be an actor?
All right, we're all going to answer this. We're going to do it in one. All right, I went to a audition for Endless Love. It said in the paper, which was a movie with Brooke Shields long ago. I got there. I met a casting director there. Next thing I know, I was standing on the Snapple Theater singing horribly, and I just got the bug. Bobby.
Well.
One sentence.
One sentence. No.
There was nothing else I really was happy doing, and my father said, you know, you want to act, don't bother me, just do it.
There were plays in my high school, and it was a great way for me to get a date with a girl named Kathy Churko.
That's it. Yeah, you guys. I know you guys thought this was like, you know, like a lot of lovey-dovey stuff, but most of the shows have a lot of babes.
More or less the same thing. It's how I met. It's how I was able to make friends and meet people.
Me. Right. Okay.
The applause.
There you go. This is the applause sound right here.
For me, I think it's in my blood because my grandfather was in the circus, and nobody liked him very much, so I thought I'd try to turn over the other leaf, so I try to be very
What did he do in the circus?
He was a trapeze artist.
Get out of town.
No kidding. But he also performed in the Palace Theater back in the early part of the century.
Sarah. Stand up, Sarah.
I always just like to make people laugh, so I guess that's what it is.
That's it. Dorothy, how'd you get into music? This is our musical conductor, Dorothy. How'd you get into music?
My grandma sent me to lessons when I was 3. That's how I got into music.
That's it. They force you. They hit you in the hands and say you gotta
perform. He literally was this like old German man with the ruler.
Really?
Who was, yeah, and I was so little that I couldn't take a half-hour lessons at a time because I was too little. So I would take 2 15-minute lessons a week, and go and like get the hand smacked and everything else. And yeah, that's how I started.
Okay, don't go to that teacher. If you want to be famous, I'd say probably murder someone. Okay. Else, Doug, what are you gonna do to be an actor? Besides be blonde.
Yeah, work hard and treat people well.
Do you guys ever get tired of working so hard?
We get tired of working so hard. John, you get tired of working so hard? John doesn't work that hard.
No, it's an easy show. Now, this is actually a pretty easy show to do, I think. Because the show I was in before this was a play called Urinetown, which was on Broadway. And that show was so strenuous, in rehearsal, I lost 15 pounds.
Wow. This is considered one of the hardest piano shows to play ever. So
because there's no other orchestra, it's just her and the thing, so her and the harp.
So I take when I can't, when I get to a point where my back starts to hurt, things like that, I take an extra day off here and there. That's
we hire a Chinese masseuse too. Go ahead. What's your question? Loud.
How does it feel like being a Broadway actor?
How does it feel like being a Broadway actor? Yeah, I have been a Broadway actor. I did Beauty and the Beast, the original company, and then it felt great. I mean, you come out and you just can't believe how it sounds and how wonderful it is, and it's a thrill of a lifetime. It's the place we all want to get back to.
Do you ever get frustrated with each other or your director?
Nick, do you get very frustrated with not being able to speak?
Oh, no, I love it. I mean, Burke's such a pleasure to work with, as you can tell. and I get to share a dressing room with him, so it's just like this all
Yes.
Has anybody else been on a Broadway show, and if what show?
John's been on how many?
Footloose, Annie, Camelot, Urinetown.
I did Urinetown with John, and I do Avenue Q still once in a while.
Sensei, how many have you done?
Will Rogers Follies, Best Little Whorehouse Goes Public, forget you heard that. How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Keep going.
A couple of straight plays, Legend, Players, Give Me Liberty, and they were over.
It's as long as his arm, this list, baby. I'm telling you. It's all. Anybody else? Yes.
What
What'd you say?
I was in Oklahoma.
You were in Oklahoma? On Broadway? That's good. Oh.
Where are you guys from?
Vermont. Here you go. Anybody else? Yeah, back there. Do I feel shy when I perform?
Not him. You might want to ask somebody else.
Doug, do you feel shy when you perform?
Once in a while, yeah.
Sarah?
Not so much.
Not so much? Go ahead.
What is the easiest thing you ever done acting?
What's the easiest thing you've ever done, Sarah? Acting, the easiest.
Acting the easiest. I was the singing telegram girl in Clue in high school. And I went, da 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 da. I am your singing telegram, and then I got shot.
And there you go. There you go. Anybody else? Yeah. What?
Why were you chosen as the villain?
Because I'm bad.
Do you guys have any tips for getting over stage fright?
Getting over stage fright. Sensei.
Everybody out there in the audience wants you to do well.
Yeah.
They're on your side the minute you walk out, and they're rooting for you. If that's on your mind, if you've practiced and you know what you're doing, you're going to be fine.
That's it. And if your knees start shaking, move.
What's the most difficult thing about acting?
What's the most difficult thing about acting, John?
You know what's really tough sometimes? Is doing the show 8 times a week, and sometimes you don't feel too well. Like every one of us, I think, in the last month has had a really bad cold, but we've still been out here. And it's trying to be up here on stage, and you're seeing I'm doing that in the middle of it.
I know. Try laughing when you're coughing, right?
What is the most exciting thing about acting?
The most exciting thing about acting, good paycheck, and Nick.
The applause.
Bobby.
The audience.
The audience, that's it, and that's the difference. We do the same thing every day, yet every day it's different because it's kind of like a basketball team with a 6th player. You guys make everything different, yeah.
Fantasticks fun with the cake on it.
That's not TIC.
It's because the translation of the play that they originally based it on, that's how they spelled it, and he thought that was kind of cool. So they kept he wants to voice in the middle of a show.
I was so sick. I mean, it was like, I was singing like a little abduction song, and I was like, and it just went. My understudy had to go on. Doug, a lot of us, usually most of us are out because your voice goes. Yeah. And that's about it. All right, everybody, thanks so much.
Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow.
Hi, Doc. I can't. I love your earmuffs.